The gaming industry continues to be wrecked and rocked, and this is one I didn't see coming, but did think would be coming one day somehow. Both of those things. Well, let's just get into it. This is the Cow's channel where we go over a cow's opinion. We go over the latest and greatest and sometimes weirdest things in video game industry. And because today, Polygon is sold off to Valnet and then gets hit with mass layoffs. And there's an update now just half an hour ago, which I was waiting for. But let's get into it, guys. If you like what you see, if you like the Let's Plays, if you want to suggest a Let's Play or Let's Try or Game Store, anything you want, this is a channel for fun. So you have those comments below. And if you could like the comment and subscribe, I'd appreciate it very much. It helps the channel. So Polygon got sold to click farm powerhouse Valnet and then almost got laid off entirely as per fellow website, and God knows maybe possibly next, Kotaku. Was announced in an online press release, and staff members have been posting about losing their jobs or about colleagues being out of work. For example, I'm no longer with Polygon. If you're hiring, please consider the many talented writers and editors now on the market, posted co-founder and EIC Chris Plante. Every one of them deserves a spot in your staff. I won't be talking more about the sale because I wasn't involved. Going to hang out with my kid, taking wins where I can. The fact that a co-founder was involved in the sale lets you know how, not great it probably went. Of course, the press release did not mention the layoffs, just at the sale, and did not say how much they paid for it. People were telling Kotaku that deputy editor Maddie Myers and games editor Zoe Hanna are among those that remain at Polygon. Executive editor Chelsea Stark said the layoffs included over 20 staff. Vox Media, who were the former owners, are not responding to a comment. I'll say no more, but I no longer have a job, shared senior reporter Nicole Carpenter. I'm looking for work, as are many of my amazing colleagues. For lots of ideas and things I'd like to write, I'm really in shock. I had a great time working at Polygon, posted senior writer Michael McWhirter. Please let me know if you have any cool job openings. Now, it was 2012 under Vox Media, the original owners, and became a very big game thing at the time. And we go over, the whole thing, but Valnet is based in Montreal and offers Screen Rant, Game Rant, comic book resources, mass aggregate, kind of like what a Polygon was. Run by Hassan Youssef, who got his start in digital media with online porn websites. And the addition of Polygon not only strengthens our editorial muscle, but amplifies our ability to deliver unmatched value to both audience and advertisers, he said in his release. Now, people are accusing Valnet of being exploitive content mills. In journalism, they're all really bad jobs. And then there's a place called Valnet, said someone. One of the worst places I've ever worked, and is probably one of the worst journalism publications I've ever seen. Valnet then responded to the investigation of the rap for libel, claiming and suing them. Claiming it was full of errors that caused the founder tremendous emotional distress, affecting his mood, temperament, and his ability to sleep. So the Vox Media Union, because they did have a union, blasted the sale and layoffs, which occurs as bargains over his new contract. Arguably even more, there's just layers to this thing, guys, it's amazing. Arguably even more demoralizing is Vox Media's decision to sell a lauded games website to a company known for alleged exploitative conditions and for devaluing rigorous journalism in favor of churning out content. Vox Media's lack of respect for Polygon's reputation in games media, the hard work and passion of its staff, and the robust community of gamers and fans who support it could not be clearer. It continues, and then we'll get to the updates. Losing Polygon to such a company is not just a loss for Vox, but for our industry and internet culture as a whole. From sustainability perspective, it makes little financial long-term sense. Speaks to the lack of care and consideration for this company and staff. So Vox Senior Vice President Chris Grant, who was the Polygon's founding editor-in-chief, is not happy either, because he said this on Blue Sky 14 years ago. I pitched what would become Polygon to a startup called Sports Blog Inc. on the unfurnished third floor of a DC townhome. I had a laptop on my knees and went through a deck. Today, that same company, now called Vox Media, sold Polygon to Valnet. Their press release proudly calls Polygon a premium gaming publication, but Valnet literally refused to meet with me or answer a single question of mine throughout this process. I'm guessing I don't know then how the hell this happened. They were widely curious about how a gaming publication even becomes premium. I really, truly hope that the remaining Polygon team gets a chance to continue the work we all cared about so much, But somehow, this is the end of my journey with the thing I created. My most heartfelt thanks to the entire team. I'm so sorry this ended up this way. And then they had them updates they've been mentioning about in its lawsuit, statement from the union, and then the official press release. So, that's a lot, guys. And unfortunately, it doesn't surprise me. A lot of these websites are going to go through this kind of stuff. As I've said, the gaming cutbacks will probably finally stabilize and peter out by the end of this year. But it's May 1st, which means that this year still has a little more to go. The sad news is that, it's the same thing that happened with G4. A lot of people, I find like games news on websites and YouTube videos and stuff and share them here because I love it and I want us to have conversations. But games news media just isn't as profitable as it was, and especially it got over invested in, bought at a high price during COVID, and the whole reason all of this stuff is happening is because nobody figured out, we'll still play video games, just not nearly as much when we can go back outside. Look, I play video games a lot, but I go outside more now than I did pre-COVID because I remember that I couldn't go outside for a couple of years. It sucked. It was terrible. And Vox Media has been going through the same online problems they are with, COVID cutbacks on advertising. Now we have the current economic uncertainty this first half of 2025, and it's just, multiple hits, and if you never plan for the bad times and you waste all of the excess money in the good times, you rapidly run out of times. That is an old folksy saying from the cow himself. You've seen on the channel, I also didn't like some of Polygon's. I would click on an article, I think, from Polygon once or twice, and it would have nothing about the game, just the person. I literally think Polygon one time was like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to review this game with this event happening in the world. It's like, okay, but you're a gaming website. You're the milk and cookies that we use. Why are you not talking about something fun when we come for fun? And a lot of these websites, hire all the same types of people who all write the same things, and then this happens. And this is not me trying to bash on Polygon, because unfortunately about 24 people just lost their jobs. And from the sounds of it from this article, the people who are actually passionate about video games at Vox Media were the ones who did not have any say at all. And that sucks, and that's terrible, and that's not fun, and that's not good. It is the economic times, as well as when you sell to a company who merges or sells to a bigger company and it continues, eventually, no matter how, if you do bad, they're going to cut you out. And no matter how good you do, if the company overall isn't doing great, then you can still be cut out because they will need to sell something good to make the money. This is what happened recently. We just covered it yesterday. Respawn had 100 people laid off and 2 of their projects canceled. Not to mention the 300 other EA people who laid off. Respawn's been making great games and selling huge. Other places will not. Dragon Age did not sell well. Dragon Age studios and executives got hit with the axe earlier this year, late last year, after all this happened. But the damage continues, and now other people who are doing the actual money-making stuff are also getting hit with this stuff. And it sucks. It's terrible. I don't like it. I want to stop. It's easy for me to say stop because I have a 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 sucks right now, guys. We are low on people. Not because of layoffs, just happen that way, but it's going to be a few weeks before the new people are trained. And I'm venting a little now, but the whole point of it is I'm using as an example that sometimes things suck and you can be doing your job wonderfully, but decisions that other people make, well, for good or bad, or just accidentally happening, can affect the overall company, which affects your company. And again, that's just the way it is. Life is not a perfectly balanced roguelike video game. These things happen. A lot of these things are happening because of decisions made years ago, again, during COVID, overinvestment. And I don't know why people thought that they would always be able to get all of these clicks and everything, but one second, this is how you could tell they were in trouble. First of all, you have a YouTube channel, and in 6 months, you've had 12 videos. And 6 months you had 14 videos. Still, I make way more videos and I don't get these views, but then again, I don't have 1.4 million. And looking at this, the Weirdest Games podcast is 23,000 people on that podcast. Fallout scores are more important than you think. That's cool, but it was only 40,000. The video game that makes you feel small, 43,000. The top 50 of 2024 in 7 words or less. Interesting concept, but only 56,000. Is this the future of cinema? I don't understand how that channel dedicated to the games you... I don't understand how that is video game related, and it only had 21,000 views. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 interview Into the Shadow Realm. That got 107,000, which is pretty good. Nobody understands playing cards, not even the experts. 280, but I don't understand what that has to do with video gaming. Dimension 20's New York City. I love Brendan Lee Mulligan. I don't understand what that has to do with video games. And Dimension 20 is a role-playing thing, and it's a really good one. You should watch it. Both of these people in that thing are wonderful people, and they're good. It's got nothing to do with video games. It got 142,000 views, which is better than their video game content, but the touchscreen backlash and the power of buttons. That's an actual good one. 108,000 is not, but still, you know, in 2 months. Beginner's Guide to Monster Hunter Wilds. Only 43,000 views, and Monster Hunter was a pretty big game. Pushing Hitman to the limit with the dumbest challenges we could think of. Only 42,000 views. And What Avowed does better than other games. 22,000 views a week ago. So this one might still be going up because the gaming content seems to overall just hit like around 50,000 views. And then they have like the interviews, of course, are going to do better because you like the people. And then you have the random videos that are doing well, but you don't subscribe to Polygon for Dimension 20. Or, I mean, I guess it's just the games you love, the artists who make them, and most of all, you, the fan. But it tells me it's more of a video gaming channel, not a tabletop channel. And, I mean, that's just it's a lot like what happened with G4. When G4 came back, they had a huge Let's Play staff, and they overpaid way too much and went too high too fast. But really, they were covering games that were like 8 or 9 months old. You have an entire network that you need content for, and you have freaking all of these people. I don't understand why they didn't have an indie show where you play an indie game for like an hour every week and you just showcase a cool indie that somebody likes. I don't understand why they didn't have like Giant Bomb has this amazing Let's Play of Persona 4 called The Endurance Run. It is amazing. It's fun. It's two guys who don't usually play those types of games, but they got so into it. Why don't you do that with something like Expedition 33? You get at least one person who doesn't really like turn-based not even JRPGs, just RPGs, and get somebody to help it, and then it's like, whoa, this blows me away. Get the high-quality stuff on with people who don't watch. You can do it with, like, get somebody who doesn't like shooters. Give them a really high-quality shooter that just came out and blew everybody away. Why aren't you doing that? They're not... It's a bunch of writers, and they're just writing articles, and they're not making the kind of content that, like, I think you guys want to see. That I want to see. I mean, I'm slowly, but this is just for fun and for my personal sanity. I'm slowly ticking up there, and I'm getting more views, and I appreciate all you guys for doing that. But I'm worried that these bigger things are putting in, like, the layups that a couple of years ago that they knew, I'll just give it an easy layup and so many clicks. And they're not putting in effort. And it might not be the writers. The writers may have been pitching, look, we need more content on our YouTube channel. We need to have a weekly podcast. There was only one podcast in that 6 months. It's not a podcast if you're doing it once every 6 months. Podcasts are weekly. If it's a big podcast, maybe once a month or bi-weekly, but come on. I don't want these people to get fired. I know some of them are probably like, I don't even like games. I just need a writing job. We've heard this in TV too. It's like, I don't really like this genre, but I gotta have a writing job. I might as well just do it my way. And then people are like, why is this garbage on my screen? I'm sure there was a lot of good people at Polygon who just love video games, want to write about them, and the people at the top are like, we don't really need to do that. Just keep doing what you're doing. I don't know if it's going to change or get better under these guys, but based on what this article says, I'm not super I mean, yeah, the union's going to have its opinion, but that doesn't necessarily make the union's opinions wrong. The whole suing the rap for doing a report that they have, like, you know, sources and stuff for earlier this year because it caused the owner stress, is probably not good news for what's left of Polygon. We will keep an eye on it, and we will try to find some... I'm going to have a long month while they replace people at work. Guys, I need this channel, and I need you guys to... We need to high-five each other and get some fun stuff. I'll try to find some fun news, guys. But let me know in the comments what you think of this. I ranted on a little longer than I thought I would. But until then, you know what else you can do besides getting into the last part of spring? You know what else you can do? You can play more games! Because games are awesome. When websites get sold off and hit with mass layoffs, that is not awesome. And you deserve awesome. See you next time. I gotta find better news, man. This is just depressing me again. I need them to announce another Robot Wars or something that we can have.